Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. President Biden is gasping and grasping at anything to help control gas prices. That includes releasing millions of barrels of oil for production daily. But is that going to help? In today's Car Smarts, Lauren Fix, the car coach, tells us if there's going to be any repercussions and if it's actually going to make any difference in what you pay at the pump.
President Joe Biden is ordering the release of 1 million barrels per day from the nation's strategic petroleum reserve for 6 months or 180 days in a bid to control energy and gasoline prices, the largest such release for the stockpile in history. Now, this is the lowest level since 1984. The latest amount of U.S. oil release would make 180 million barrels of oil available, or that equivalent to about 2 days of global demand, and would mark the third time the United States has tapped into the SPR, or Strategic Petroleum Reserve, in the past 6 months. But will this lower gas prices? Let's start with some facts. And what is the Strategic Oil Reserve? The Strategic Petroleum Reserve, or SPR, is an emergency stockpile of petroleum maintained by the United States Department of Energy. It's the largest known emergency supply in the world, and its underground tanks are in Louisiana and Texas, which is where the refineries are. And they have a capacity of 714 million barrels. The United States created the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in 1975 after the Arab oil embargo, which spiked gasoline prices and damaged the U.S. economy. Presidents have tapped the stockpile to calm oil markets during war or when hurricanes hit oil infrastructure along the Gulf Coast of Mexico. The country also maintains a small heating oil and gasoline reserves in the United States in the Northeast. As an example, President George W. Bush authorized the release of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve during Hurricane Katrina. Will releasing 1 million barrels a day lower gasoline prices? That's what you want to know. Well, analysts have warned a release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve would only produce a short-term effect, as it would not increase U.S. production capacity. This dumping of oil is about 9 days worth of demand, but even less because a barrel of crude oil from the reserve does not equal a barrel of gasoline. And not all of that is converted to heptane, which is gasoline, or diesel. A lot of it's used for plastics and other things that we use every day. The U.S. consumes about 20 million barrels of oil per day, and the average cost of gasoline has declined to $4.23 as of Thursday. That's roughly 2.1% decrease compared to 2 weeks ago. So here's the bottom line. The country with the most gasoline and oil is strategically the strongest because they can outlast their opponents. And this is true with many other items, including food. I don't think 1 million barrels a day is going to move the price of gasoline at all. You may see a few cents drop over a few months, but prices will increase again if more is not produced to make up the shortfall. Being energy independent is the best choice. Now, the government is also planning to add an additional 11 new tax hikes on oil and gas in the industry, and this is not going to incentivize them to increase production. I'm Lauren Fix, and you can find this information on my website, carcoachreports.com and DailyFlashShow.com.